Hi guys, it's Mrs. Millison. Okay, today we're going to learn about operators, our mathematical operators, plus, minus, multiply, and divide, and all that fun stuff. Okay, so let's, I'm going to call this Unit 1, Unit 1, operators. Open my main method. I'm going to come down here, close my main method, and close my class. All right. I'm going to just create a couple ints and a couple doubles and a string, okay? I'm not going to go crazy with my variables. We're just going to think about math class. So x is going to be 3. Let's do y equals 14. No rhyme or reason to these numbers. Double z, what's my first double? 4.2. And I'm going to do another double of v equals what, 9.3? Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to do a string too. Oops. I call it cat. And that equals kitty. My kitty's name. Okay, let me just compile and save this guy. Okay, Unit 1 operators. All right, now I'm going to get my warning that nothing's being used. None of my variables are being used. All right. All right, so let's start using them. Okay, let's do our mathematical operators. So math operators, plus, minus, multiply, and divide. Okay, our 4 basic math operations. Okay, I'm just going to print all these. I'll show you how to create a variable with it, but we're just going to print them all for now. Okay, so system out println. I'm probably going to end up copying and pasting that. Let's just do x plus y. So if I just type in x plus y like this, all it should do is 3 plus 14, right? So that should give me, again, I'm just commenting here, that should get me 17. Agreed? All right, let's compile. Now I know Z, V, and kitty aren't being used, but that's all right. And there's my 17, okay? And that's just how easy it is, okay? These are ints. These are both integers, which means if I add 2 integers, I'm going to get an integer, okay? If I add 2 doubles, so if I add Z plus V, I'm going to get a double. So Z is 4.2 plus 9.3. And you don't have to type all this. I'm just doing this as a reference. So when we run it, we know we're right. So what's that? 13.5, I think, right? Where I'm commenting them out. So they're not going to be, that's not impacting the running. Okay. So again, if I add 2 ints, I'm going to get an int. If I subtract 2 ints, I'm going to get an int. If I multiply 2 ints, I'm going to get an int. If I do anything with 2 doubles or more than 2 doubles, I'm going to get a double. Okay. Let's throw some text in there. Let's throw kitty in there. Let's throw the cat in there and see what happens. Okay. Okay. Let's do cat plus x plus y. Okay. Now, computer don't really know what to do here because cat's text. So is it going to take, like, say kitty and then 17? Let's see. It does kitty and then 314. What's 314? Ah, it's x right next to y. Okay, so there's text in here. It's going to read the whole thing as text. It doesn't see that these are numbers that should be added independently. Okay, it's just going to take text plus text plus text, no space in between. Okay, now if I force the system to see them as numbers, how do you force math to occur? You put in parentheses. So if I put that x plus y individually in parentheses, it'll add 3 plus 14, so it'll be 17, but then it's just going to stick it right next to the word kitty. So this time I should get kitty 17. And I did. So it knew to actually add those two integers together. And if they were two doubles, it would have added the two doubles together. Okay. So you've got to use parentheses to force things to happen. Okay. Now, okay, so we've added two ints, we've dealt with two ints, we've dealt with two doubles. What happens if I mix a double with an int? Okay, I'm going to copy and paste this if that's okay. I don't have to retype it every time. So if I take, let's see, x plus z, okay, it's going to take x, which is 3, and z, which is 4.2. So 3 plus 4.2. And the system's going to be like, well, you got an int and a double. So let's see what it gives us. It actually added 3 plus 4.2. So it turned it into a double. So if there is a double anywhere in your calculation, your answer is going to be a double. So if you take an int plus a double, you're going to get a double. Okay. And that's kind of nice. You want that. You had a decimal, you want a decimal. Okay. Now I've just been printing each expression here. Okay. I could create a variable if I wanted to. Okay. Let's create a variable. I'm going to do this a little different. X times y. So x times y. 3 times 14. That's an integer. It should yield me an integer. So I'm going to call it an integer. I'm going to call it x multiply by y. And there's the operation that's going to occur. Okay, so if you are going to create any of these as variables, you got to think about what are they going to end up being. So if I create a variable of x plus y, it would have to be an int. If I did z plus v, it would have to be a double. If I did cat plus x plus y or cat plus x plus y, these would have to be strings, okay, because that's what's going to kick out. All right, so now let's print x multiply by y. What should we get? What's 3 times 14? What is that? 42, right? 3 times 4 is 12. Yeah. Okay. And indeed we do. Okay. So again, I can create these all as individual variables. If you don't mind, for the rest of the lesson, I'm not going to create the variable and then print the variable. I'm just going to put the operation inside the print statement just for time's sake. Okay. But I wanted you to see that. And also, if you are going to create a variable from the operation that you're printing or that you're creating, you've got to think about what type of variable it's going to be, whether it's going to be an int, a double, or a string. Okay. All right, let's do a little bit of division. I want you to see some division. Okay, and I'm going to just divide my integers. Okay, I'm going to lose track of this stuff. X is 3, y is 14. We just got to remember that. Okay, let's do x divided by y. Okay, so let's comment. What is this? 3 divided by 14. So if I put 3 divided by 14, I'm going to get 0 point something, right? Because 14 doesn't go into 3. Okay, so let's see what I get. Oh, I just got 0. Where's my decimal? Well, these are integers, so I'm going to get an integer as an answer. Okay, you got to always think about your data types. Okay, plus division. Well, whatever. Okay, let's divide our decimals. Let's divide our doubles. So if we do, let's do v divided by z, because then we'll get. No, we'll do z divided by v. Did I say that? Do z divided by v, because that should also get us 0 point some, right? Yeah. Okay. But z and v are doubles. So the answer will yield a double. Okay. So you have to be very aware of your data types, okay, when you're doing mathematical operations. Okay. So I just wanted you to see that in division. Okay. Let's try. I want to do y divided by x, if that's okay. let's do y divided by x, just again, another little example. So that's 14 divided by 3. Now 3 goes into 14 4 times, 12, and the remainder of 2, right? Remainder of 2, right? 12, 13, 14, okay? But again, y and x are integers, so the only thing I'm going to get is the 4. It's not going to say 4 point something because it's not a y and x are not doubles, okay? So when you are dividing, so there's my 4, so it should be 4 point something something, but it's not going to give me that, okay? Unless these were doubles, but that they're not, okay? So just be very aware of that, okay? Now, if I take, let's take 9.3 and divide it by 3. Now I've got a double in my calculation, so I should get 3.1, okay? So v divided by x is, forgotten the numbers already, 9.3 divided by 3 is 3.1. Since v is a double, the whole expression will be seen as a double, and I should be able to see that 3.1. It won't just give me the 3, okay? And indeed, it works, okay? So as long as there's a double in your calculation, you should be able to have it, you should yield a double, okay? All right, so those are my, I didn't really do any subtraction, but subtraction works the same way, okay? A little bit of multiplication, but you know math. You know addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, there's another operator in Java called modulo. Okay, and it is the percent sign. The modulo yields the remainder. Okay, so let's do this one. Let's copy this, and we're just going to change it from division to modulo. Okay, to modulo. So now this basically says, what is y divided by x? What is the remainder of y divided by x? Well, we know the remainder is 2. So this should print out 2. It'll just, the 4 doesn't matter. Part of the math. Okay, so there's my remainder of 2. Okay, so that's something new. I mean, we all know what remainders are, but we have that new modulo operator. Okay, let's do this one because this will look a little funny. Okay, if I change this to modulo, if I do 3 divided by 14, I get 0 because 14 doesn't go into 3. But what's my remainder? Okay, am I left over with 3 or am I left over with 14? Okay, take a guess and we'll run it and you can see if you were right. Okay, it's 3. So if I took 3 and divided it by 14, I would get 0, and I would do 0 times 14, and then I would have a remainder of 3. Okay, so when you do have an improper fraction, the modulo will always give you what the numerator of the fraction is. Okay, and again, the more you use this, you'll start seeing all these patterns. Okay. All right, so in addition to our operators, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, now we have the modulo. What if we did like a big, long mathematical statement, okay? Let's do x plus y times z minus v, okay? What does Java do first? Well, guys, it's math class, so Java follows PEMDAS. Okay, does parentheses, exponentials. Well, we don't really have an exponent here. That's a whole nother story. It does multiplication and division together, and then addition and subtraction. And you know what? I'm going to stick the modulo in here too. Okay, so it'll do parentheses, and then it'll do any multiplication, division, or modulo. It'll go in order from left to right, and then any addition and subtraction, it'll go from order from left to right. Okay, so what this is really going to do, it's going to do y times z first. Then it's going to add x to whatever that is minus v, whatever that is. Okay. What are our numbers here? So we have 3 plus 14 times, I don't remember what Z is, 4.2 minus 9.3. So what it's really going to do is it's going to take 14 times 4.2 first, and that happens to be 58.8. Okay, then it's going to do 3 plus that, and then it's going to subtract 9.3. Okay, and that should give us 52.2. Let's see if it does. Hopefully I typed everything right. 52 and a half. Darn it, 52 and a half. There we go. All right. And of course, it's going to, if without any kind of parentheses, it's going to follow PEMDAS. Now, if I want to force it to do something, all I got to do is put stuff in parentheses. Say I want to add X plus Y first. Okay. And say I want to do Z minus V second, and then I want to multiply whatever those two results are. So what I really have, I'm just going to copy and paste if that's okay. I really have 17 times, what is that, negative 5.1? So 17 times, negative 5.1. I don't know what that is. Whatever, throw that in the calculator. I know it's going to be a negative number, okay? So let's see what it is. I don't want to do that in my head. So it's negative 86.7, okay? I'll put that in here in our notes. Okay, so you can force order of operation in math with parentheses just like you do normally with math, okay? Okay, so those are all my operators and how I deal with order of operation if I want to bypass PEMDAS, okay? A couple other things I want to show you before we close are things called compound assignment operators. Oops. Good heavens, I just cannot type. All these are shortcuts, okay? Shortcuts to assign or to change values of a variable or to change variables. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's say I'm going to do some more. I can't deal with these guys up here. I can't remember any of the numbers. All right, so we're going to create some new ones. Let's do int a equals 10. Okay, so a equals 10. We'll print it in a second. So if I want to increase a to 15, I could do a equals 15. I could do an assignment statement that a equals 15, and it's done. It's changed to 15. What if I want to add something to it? Okay, so I can do a equals a plus 5. Okay, so what I'm saying here is my a is now going to equal my old a, which is 10, plus 5, which would be 15. Okay, so if I print out a, I should see 15. If I printed it after this statement, I would have seen 10. Okay, so now it's 15. Another thing I can do, which is my shortcut, I could do a plus equals 5. So now I've just added another 5. So this takes a, this is just a shortcut for this statement. So my a now is 15, so I'm going to add another 5 to it, so it should be 20. So now if I print it out again, it should be 20. And indeed it is. Okay, I can also take a and do a little shortcut. Let's say I want to subtract 2 from it. I could do a minus 2 if I wanted. Okay, or I could do my little shortcut minus equals 2. I just put space. Okay, so now if I print this out, it should be 18, right? Okay, and same thing. I can do shortcuts if I want to multiply. Let's say I want a to multiply by 10. Okay, so I can do equals a times 10, and that will work fine. Okay, but I can also do my little shortcut of multiply equal 10. Okay, so now if I print it out, let's see, what will that be? 180? Okay, and again, let me just put little notes up here. This is just a shortcut for a equals a plus 5. This is a shortcut for a equals a minus 2. Put some space in there for you. And this is just a shortcut for a equals a times 10. Okay, we can do the same thing with division. I guess we could do it with modulo, but I'd never really use it with modulo. Okay, might as well do a division, huh? Let's divide it by 9. Let's do that. Division equals 9, because then we'll get 20, right? Now let's divide it by 20, and then we'll get 9. I don't want it to equal 20 again. And again, this was just a shortcut for a divided by 20. Now if I print that, it should equal 9. Okay. The only other two compound operators I want to show you are plus plus and minus minus. Okay, so if I do a plus plus, all I did here was take a and add 1. Okay, I could have also done a plus equals 1. Okay, but boy, is that a lot faster than either one of these, right? Okay, let's print it out. So now I should be at 10. Okay, and I could do a plus plus again to get 11. My other quick little operator is a minus minus, and I bet you can I guarantee you know what that is going to do. It's just going to decrease by 1. So now this is the same thing as a minus 1, which is also equal to a minus equals 1. Okay, but again, this is so much faster, and we're going to use these a lot when we do loops. Okay, so now I think I'm back to 9, right? Because if it was 9, then I added when it was 10. Now I'll subtract when it should be 9 to finish up. Okay, let's see if our last thing is a 9. And indeed it is. Okay, so again, these are just shortcuts. You don't have to use them. Okay, you can write out a whole little assignment statement of reassigning the variable to the old variable plus, minus, or multiply or divide by something. Okay, but these shortcuts do come in handy. Okay, all righty. That's it for this time. See you next time.